Okay, here you see my inks. Um, I mixed straight black ink here, just a little bit. I added water here, okay? Say the mix is now 60-40, water to ink. And then I cut that a third time with a little more water by pouring it off. So I probably have 30% ink, 60% ink, 100% ink. I have some fresh water here too. I'm just going to start with the quill. Move over here. I'm going to start with the apple. So it gives you an idea of what the quality of the line is like. I'm leaving a little bit of space around it. Looking at that. Not making it too dark yet. I'm using about the 60% ink. You'll notice the distance I'm keeping around it as I go. I'm not putting things too closely together. The closer the lines are together, the darker it will appear. The further apart the lines are, the lighter it'll appear. So I'm only doing straight lines right now with a slight curve. Now I'm going to start cross-hatching it just a little bit. You'll notice if I don't continually dip it, it gets a little bit lighter as I get to the end of the strokes. So I'm counting off like 5 strokes, and then I'll go back and dip again. Let's see what the quill pen does now. The metal quill. I'm going to try some straight ink with that. I'm going to add a little water to it so it carries a little more. In fact, I'm going to move the ink up. I moved it from down to right here so I can get at it more easily. Go back to the bamboo quill now. You'll notice that dark spot happened because I'm carrying a little more ink than I should, and the paper is a little more absorbent. So that's kind of interesting. That's a little more to my liking. Now I got a little rhythm going. I like this quill the best, although it's still dropping a little bit of ink. Now this is not high quality paper. I'm gonna look for some edges. Put some edges on my forms. Look how nice that line got now. That's really what I want. I don't know if I can keep that up. I don't push too hard, because if you push too hard, I'm getting the big spill, that little extra ink that I don't really want. I'd rather just, you know, smoothly just make a mark, lightly, barely touching the paper, and it really starts to take off a little bit. That's the 60% ink I'm using right now. Now I'll start to go around the curve a little bit more. Wrap my lines that way. You'll notice I didn't touch this spot. That's a highlight. It took me a little while to get a rhythm with this bamboo quill, but now I have it. Plus, I got to get used to holding it. I'm holding my phone while I video this. This is not as easy as it looks. It's not easy at all. It got a little darker up there where I don't want it. The more times I go over it, the more different directions I go, the denser and darker it gets. So that was mostly 60% ink. I'll show you the difference now. I'll grab some of the black ink. See how straight black ink gets a little bit darker down there. And it'll actually go over the top of that and render it really quite nicely. Gotta be careful, I'm getting a little dark there. Once I go like that, I really can't get back from that, so I have to be careful with that. And although I made a few mistakes on this, I mean, all in all, it's starting to begin to feel really good. And I actually like that dried line. So that's a nice little start for this. Give you an idea of what I've been up to. I've got a black cloth behind it. It makes it easier to see that apple. Consider your background. They tell you to consider your background when you're making a video of yourself. Consider your background when you're doing a drawing. If you want to isolate it a little bit, make it easier for you to see, go ahead. A little more free expression here than the regiment of the hatching. I know I'm going to probably go into this a lot more, make it a lot richer and a lot darker. So, but it allows you to actually see the form kind of be modeled without putting a line around the side. I mean, I drew a short light stroke around the edge, but really this is about just leaving white space to convince you that you're seeing an edge of a contour. And that's how I'd start one.